Thoughts on a couple of rookies, Dylan Sampson, Harold Fannin. Those are guys, you don't hear a lot about them. What are your thoughts about how they fit into what the Browns want to do offensively?
Yeah, the Browns didn't draft a wide receiver. Obviously, a lot of people were sort of critical of that and thinking, oh, they should do it, especially when, a lot of people were thinking they were going to take Travis Hunter second overall. Harold Fannin's going to get every opportunity to be a major contributor on this offense. He's young, he's 20 years old, so that may be difficult. But if he can present that Isaiah Likely type factor that the Ravens have been utilizing, that other teams have been able to utilize, they're going to let him do it as much as possible, get bigger bodies. The Browns want to run the football anyway, and then be able to use things like play action. If Harold Fannin can sort of, he was the most dominant, productive tight end in the country at Bowling Green. If he can give you any of that, I mean, Isaiah Likely is a great example because like Isaiah Likely is a player who's done a lot for the Ravens, but his best year is like 450 yards. It's not, we're not talking about a guy who has 1,300 yards receiving or anything like that, but just that factor gives the offense a lot and puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Not a whole lot of teams have two guys that can cover 240-pound guys that can run. The Browns want to create that dynamic. Dylan Sampson, look, they did not draft him just to be Quinton Junkin's backup. They're going to use him in other ways. I think they're going to use him. They may split him out as a receiver. They may use him as a jet player, a guy who's in motion a lot. They may manufacture some touches. At Tennessee, Dylan Sampson, again, at 20 years old, was a focal point at an SEC offense, and he was carrying that team. If the Browns can put him out in space, and as opposed to having to beat 11 guys, he can beat two or three or one if you can set it up right, and he can take off. He's got the speed to pay that off. And rather than being the number one guy on an SEC offense, he can be your fourth or fifth option and potentially create some matchup problems for teams in the NFL. And given the Browns have a lot of questions at wide receiver, Harold Fannin and Dylan Sampson are ways that they could potentially sort of find ways to problem solve without until they get the proven playmakers at that position they really want.